Now, to demonstrate the power of the ReportsAI platform, I'm going to put you into the shoes of Umoja Health, a fictional non-profit organization operating in Kenya. They implement the Safe Births program to reduce infant mortality across East Africa. They're operating in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. So within the ReportsAI platform, they can build a profile like this, put their logo, brief organization description. They can add users here. There's myself as the monitoring and evaluation manager. So the platform now has context of who Umoja Health are and what they do. Now, for Umoja Health, to implement their project, they need to raise funding, and sometimes this is from various donors. So they then need to be able to track their impact whilst dealing with multiple partners on the ground, which means they need to be able to collect data from those partners. They then need to aggregate that data and communicate it to various donors in different forms. Now, they can do all of that within the ReportsAI platform. So just let me quickly show you. If you're managing multiple reporting projects, this is how it can look within ReportsAI. You've got all of your report projects. You can click in a dashboard like this, where you can see days left, tasks, notes, etc. And then at any point in time, if you're interested in seeing the progress of this particular project, you can select Live Dashboard and get a real-time look at what the progress is on this project so far. So within the report project, you can request data from various partners. This dashboard is produced based on the log frame that was already attached to the project, and then the data that's been uploaded so far from partners. So you can see just how detailed this dashboard is. And the amazing thing about it is this will actually update in real time. So as partners or other people within your organization complete tasks by uploading fresh data to them, this dashboard is actually going to update in real time. So you can produce amazing outputs like this, or if they wanted to actually produce a report, then you can produce amazing reports like this. All of your reports get saved into my drafts. This is where I am now. So I can produce awesome report outputs, and these are all very much grounded in your data inputs. So ensuring this is a very reliable platform. So all outputs are grounded in your data inputs, and anywhere where even a slight assumption gets made, or there's a request for more data, you'll see it highlighted in yellow so the human in the loop can check over. So this report output can then be converted into various other types: text summary, audio summary, a podcast even, but most impressively dashboards and presentation decks. So I'll quickly show you what those look like. Here's a presentation deck of that report. So you can produce this very quickly if you need to present the findings of that particular report. And again, if people prefer to take their data in the form of a dashboard, you can convert any report into a nice dashboard. So it's a lot more visual. You can really see the figures, and you can get across the data in a lot more of a user-friendly kind of way with these dashboards. So overall, the ReportsAI platform, we're built to be your impact operating system. So from everything from collecting data to doing data quality checks, to processing that data into dashboards, into reports, and then all of those learnings go back into your institutional knowledge and projects over time. This is the flywheel that we're trying to generate so that you can constantly improve the amount of impact that you're having, have more impact overall. So I just wanted to give you that quick overview to show you just the power of this platform with these tools, because you can just speak to your projects even in real time. So I jump back to my report projects. If I wanted to jump back into this Safe Births program quarterly report, I can also chat to it and ask things like, okay, what is the current progress with the Safe Births program? So I really wanted to just show you that this isn't just an AI platform. This is a platform that is built to support everything from planning your projects, to organizing them with tasks, to collecting the data, to doing data quality checks to ensure that your data is strong enough, to then processing that data into real-time insights with dashboards or real-time insights from the chatbot, or processing into report outputs, which you can then convert into a presentation deck or into whatever output you like. And all of this information can go back into your institutional knowledge via knowledge bases, so you can then learn and grow as an organization. So now I've given you that overview of the platform. Let me give you a more detailed kind of demo of how this would actually work for you in practice. So if you log into the platform, this is where you land, first of all, which is just generating a report instantly. So the difference between generating a report instantly and my report projects is that if you're generating a report instantly, it's because you already have the data. But we understand that in most cases, you don't start reporting when you already have the data. Like, the reporting starts when you're actually planning the project and then collecting the data, checking the quality, and then generating a report. But if you do happen to have the data to hand, you can just come straight to here, generate report instantly, whereas the full process is managed under my report projects. So if you're generating a report instantly like this, you can just come and dump in any raw data. So let me just find. So you can dump in any raw data in here, like some couple of field notes, for example. Just dump that in as well. Some Excel files. Now these can be any file type, even audio notes, say in Swahili, that you've been conducting interviews in the field. You can use that input and still produce a report in English. So that's one of the real powers of this, is that no matter how you collect your data and in what kind of raw and messy unstructured format, we can process that into report outputs. So if you're interested in seeing what's been collected, you can click here and see what's been extracted from the document. And now it's just about process what you want to process it into. So narrative report, financial report, M&E report. We have these pre-built and optimized prompts here that you can just jump straight into. But also in advanced settings here, you can choose report types or even create your own. Now, this allows you to have a lot more control over what report output you want to have, because you can actually set compliance requirements and a very detailed report type within here, so that every time you're processing data into that particular report type, the platform's going to try to create a report that meets those standards. And anywhere where it doesn't have enough data, it's going to flag that to you. So if you want to ensure that your reports are compliant with certain standards, then you can build your own report types to do that. So it's a very powerful part of the platform. And it also means that you can just tailor it to whatever your needs are. If you're creating a very specific type of report, then just create a report type. I've built all kinds of very specific ones here, from like a focus group summary to a most significant change story. You can really adapt the platform to whatever your specific needs are by creating your own report types. So that's more about the kind of output you're looking for. Whereas templates are more about formatting. We know that organizations generally have to populate pre-built templates for donors, etc., and it's a very fiddly process. But in here, you can build your own templates and then reuse them at any time and just populate them whilst keeping the formatting. So these two parts here give you a lot of control over, okay, you have your data, but now what do you want to process it into? So you can do that by report types and templates. You don't have to choose either of these, or you can use a prompt box, but you can use these. And then you can choose a language, and you can also use data from knowledge bases as well. Can also be used, as well as the data that's been uploaded here, which I'm going to jump to knowledge bases straight after I show you how you generate a report instantly. So let's not get too distracted by this just yet. We're just going to choose an M&E report, or actually an impact story. Let's go, because I know one of these has an impact narrative, and then we can just generate. Now, this process takes longer than your traditional AI tools because there's a lot more going on in the background. To be able to deal with the amount of data that we're using without leaving data behind, it means that the process takes longer, because there's a lot of context engineering involved to ensure that we're getting high quality and very reliable outputs. So we'll produce a beautiful report output just like this. And this is very much grounded in your input data. And again, as we were saying earlier, you can just convert this into things like a text summary, audio summary, podcast dashboard, etc. here. This is an editable doc, so if you want to make changes, just edit away. You can also share this draft with other people. You can leave comments. So let me just do this. Insert, add a comment. So you can collaborate as a team. Please collaborate. And like you would collaborate on any doc within an organization, this allows for that. So you can get the doc to a place where you want it. But then also what's really amazing is that you can use the AI bot to help you. So you can use shortcuts here. You can also chat with AI to help you edit sections. And for example, if you wanted to turn this content into a visual, you just do that here. You can get great visuals like this, and then just insert that graphics and lovely visuals to really bring your report to life. And don't forget, you always have this chatbot at the bottom here where you can ask questions like, how can I strengthen this report? It's like your additional AI team member is always there. And you'll notice that was there earlier in the report project as well. If you go to my drafts, you'll also see it there. So whenever you want to chat to all the data within a project, or chat to a document, to either just pull insights from the document quickly, or to ask for feedback on how you can improve, then this AI chatbot, you always notice it there in the corner. It's your additional team member who's always there to help, both with editing, with just for chatting and asking for to pull data or strengthen the doc from there. So that's just a quick overview of how you can generate a report that quickly, and then turn that report into other outputs like this. Or if you want to export it and save it to your machine, you can do that here. Or generated documents that are then saved in my drafts. And again, you can collaborate on these as a team. So you can chat with AI here, but you can also share them with other people. So if you share a document with someone and they select the link, it will open up for them within the editor, and they can chat with the document, which just means everyone can pull information quickly and interrogate documents very easily. So it's very powerful. So everything I've been showing you there so far is just generating a report instantly, is when you've already have the data ready to go. But as I was saying earlier, the real power is in report projects, and you can manage all of your projects here in one place. And then if and you can go into projects and see their progress. As I said earlier, you can view dashboards, get a live overview of what's happening on the ground, ask the chatbot for more feedback on what's happening on the ground. We're trying to support you to make faster and better real-time decisions on your projects, because if you can make better decisions and faster decisions, then that's going to mean you're able to produce more impact overall. You're going to be more efficient as an organization, which means you can raise more funding, you have more impact, and you can overall just improve your work on the ground, which is good for everyone. So that's essentially what we're trying to do here, and it's all leveraging your data as an organization. So let me just jump back to report projects and show you how to generate one yourself. So it's just as simple as clicking this button up here, create a report project. So you can see this is all about data collection, quality assurance, and report generation and real-time impact tracking. So let's just give this a name. Let's call it a monthly field activity report. This can be a one-time report, or you can make them periodic. So this is monthly. So let's just say that this is a monthly report. And let's say the next one due is the last Friday of the week after the end of the month. And we last would have reported for March 2026. Now, once you've made this report periodic, then you don't have to keep recreating that report project. It can get recreated for you automatically. Now, reporting documentation, this is where you can give the platform a bit more context of your project and what it is you're trying to do. So the types of documents we're looking for here are things like the work plan, mail plan, log frame, terms of reference, or anything else that's relevant to the project as a whole. You don't have to add anything here, so it won't stop you from just clicking next, but it can be useful just to give the platform more context on what you're trying to do here. So I know that I've got a log frame, so I'm going to upload that and then select next. Now, access and visibility, this is still like within your platform. Nothing's ever going to be visible to people external from your platform, but this is just you and your users within your platform. You can either have it just to you, shared with specific people within your platform, or public to all of your users that you have in this particular instance of the platform. And we create that. Cool, that's created. Now, we have this lovely project, but we don't have any tasks yet. So now this is what it's asking for. So you can either create tasks manually, or because I have this log frame attached, the platform can actually extract tasks from you because it can see from the log frame the kind of data that you're looking to collect. That's why I do suggest that you upload things like a safe burst program, like a log frame, or things like your work plan, because then the platform can extract the tasks for you and just save you time. So let's extract those tasks. These tasks are created. It's got things like locate training logs for midwives. You see they're assigned to me at the moment, but you can assign these to whoever you want to. And you can actually assign tasks to people external from your platform as well. They'll get an email and it will open up the task for them within ReportsAI. You can set start date, due date, etc. All of that stuff within here. Let me just create those. Right, now those tasks are now created within this project, so I can see them here. And if I'm the one that's been assigned this particular task, let's say, if I select the link that comes in the email, because you'll get email reminders, then it will open me up in this task. Or if I'm within this platform, I can just come to the task allocated to me and see it here and just click into it. So I see the headline, I see the description of what they want from me. So now, okay, how do I actually complete it? Well, I need to upload data to complete the task. So you can either come straight to notes and either write in notes or upload any file type. Again, audio notes, Excel files, etc., and just add them. Or you see here, you've got this button, you can just select here to upload data, which again takes me straight to notes, as I showed you before. So this particular task is asking for the training logs, which I have that here as an Excel file. So I can just upload those training logs and then add that note. See, now this note is added down here, I can see that. So I can just go back and mark this task as complete. If I select mark this task as complete, then an evaluation will happen automatically. This is where we're checking the quality of your data. So we're going to check for any errors, inconsistencies, gaps in the data, and also whether it meets what has been set out in the description. So it's checking whether it's complete and relevant enough to mark as complete. Now, anybody can come in and evaluate the task at any time. So I'll just show you what that looks like. Because really, to ensure that you have strong report outputs, we need to ensure that your data inputs are also strong. That's why it's really important that we're checking for data quality here and just giving people this real-time feedback on their data uploads so that you can catch any mistakes early and make any improvements right at data collection as well. So you get a summary, you get progress assessment, suggested next steps, and checks for data completeness. And I'm just going to mark that as complete. You'll notice that data was suggesting that it was missing some parts. It's because I've just put in some fictional data that I made. So I can now see that one task has been completed. So that's the one I marked as complete. And we could even, at this point, could do a live dashboard, although there's not much data to go on at this point. And you can also ask for what is the progress of this project. You can always come in and ask for like real-time feedback, but there's not been much done here yet, so it will tell you that. So giving you a quick overview, task progress, etc. Yes, that's always very helpful. And then once you've completed all of the tasks, which means you've got all of the data that you needed, and it will all be attached to this particular project. You've also got the log frame that we attached at the start, so it's got a reference point to reference all of the data uploaded against that log frame. And then when you're ready, you can check the progress of the project as a whole by evaluating the project as a whole here. So this is similar to the task evaluation that we saw earlier, but this is evaluating, okay, well, what's your progress of the project as a whole by looking at all of the tasks and all of the data collected so far. So there's your evaluation, snapshot, what's been done, what's in progress, what's still missing and at risk, and it even gives you recommendations. So again, we're trying to ensure that your data is of a strong enough quality before you generate a report, because that's how we can ensure that your report outputs are as strong as possible. Now, once you're happy, you can just generate a report from here, and you can choose just your own notes, but most likely you're going to want the team's notes. You can give any prompt here, and then you can select a report type or template and just generate a report from there. So that's how you then get to the point where you're generating a report from a report project. So just to ensure that you understand everything here, is that what I quickly showed you earlier was generating a report instantly. That meant that you already had the data, so you just had to upload any raw, messy, unstructured data, choose the output that you want, either by a prompt, or you can use report types or a template, and then just process. And it was easy as that to process into a lovely report output that you can then turn into dashboards or slide decks or audio summaries, etc. But where we are now is report projects, because now we're focusing on, okay, what is the full life cycle of a report project when it comes from planning the project, organizing the project with tasks, so allocating all the relevant tasks to different people. Those tasks might be allocated to partner organizations, for example, and then completing the task, which involves collecting the data. Then we do data quality checks. So that's when you saw that evaluation happen. That was checking, okay, what is the quality of this data that's been uploaded to the task? And then once all of that data is now attached to this project, it then looks the same as generating a report instantly, but you have all of that data that's attached to the project is being used to generate the report, or to generate a dashboard that you can always just view in real time at any point. So that's the difference between these two here. So we understand that in practice, most organizations are going to be using report projects because they manage your full workflow. And really the biggest headache for many organizations is actually data collection and data quality checks. So that's what we're really focusing on here. So again, to ensure that the quality of your data is strong enough to then produce strong report outputs and good dashboards and reliable metrics, because you've got to remember these metrics, that's what's going to guide your organization. So now that I've covered all of that, I should quickly touch on report types and templates, because as we were saying earlier, this is how you can kind of tailor the platform to exactly the kind of outputs that you want. So you can come in and just create your own report types. It's as easy as clicking this button here, give it a title, a description, and you can set compliance requirements. Now, the powerful thing about the compliance requirements is that your platform is always going to take the data that's been uploaded and try to process it into that output, and that meets those compliance requirements. So if your data is missing important stuff to produce that output, then that's going to get flagged in the output. This platform's never going to manufacture information or put something there that wasn't within your data. So instead, it's going to let you know that you need to collect that data, and that's how you can ensure that your output's always reliable, and you can ensure compliance, because that's always going to get flagged for you. Now, as well as creating your own, you can always just come in and edit the existing ones. So you can build these report types over time and optimize them over time, because you can use them, look at the outputs, and then come in here, make adjustments, and then save them. And then you can ensure that your report types are as strong as they can be, and they then become an asset that is now reusable for your organization. If anybody wants to make a monthly field activity report, they just select that report type, and they can process any fresh data straight into that output. Now, similar for templates, in that sometimes you have to populate a very particular template structure. We can build those in here. So you can just, if you're creating a new one, you just come File, Import from Word. You can just import the existing template. So for example, this was a Oxfam template that we worked on before, and then you can just create the prompts of where you want to populate data. We call these placeholders. They're just in between double curly brackets, and that's saying to populate that data there. And again, this becomes a reusable asset for your organization. Whenever you need to use a template, when you're generating a report, you just select a template, it's going to repopulate that template for you. So that is the most important parts of the reporting functionality of this platform. There's one final thing that I want to go over, and that's my knowledge bases. So as any organization, you have huge amounts of data. And for many impact organizations, they're not really putting their data to work. It's mostly sitting stagnant on personal machines, or even if it's in somebody's head, then there's a risk that that information walks out the door with that person if they leave the organization. But really, all of that data and information, that is your asset as an organization. That is your institutional knowledge or your institutional memory. We want you to be able to curate that and use that, because it's very important as an organization that you're leveraging all of your past learnings and your past data for you to improve and learn as an organization. So with my knowledge bases, we can make all of your information accessible instantly. So let me show you how that works. You can think of this as your institutional memory, my knowledge bases. And knowledge bases are just, each knowledge base is just a different folder of data that we've extracted the data points from for you. And you can create as many as you want of these. It's very easy to create. You just select up here, create a new knowledge base, and data, you just import new files, or data points get extracted for you. And the real power of this is that you can then chat with these. What the chatbot up the top here is also for. So if I click this button, it's going to take me here. So okay, I want to chat with this information. So this is to give you the ability to quickly access information that is within your institutional knowledge or your institutional memory. You want to actually access that and use it, leverage it for learning, leverage it for insights, or just pull information quickly. So now this chatbot works is where you can basically select the knowledge bases that you want to speak to, which is essentially like drilling down into particular folders of information and then interrogating that data. So I can select the safe burst programs. For when you've selected them, you'll see them selected up here, and then you can just create new conversation if you want, or you could call it a thread. And these are just conversations that you can have where you're interrogating that data. So you can ask things like, what are the KPIs of the safe burst program? And you can just pull that information very quickly. But you can add much more in depth. You can ask much more in-depth stuff as well. So let me show you some of the things I've been asking before. I want to create a report project to track monthly impact. Can you help me build a workflow with the measures I should track and how to track them? And you can get very contextualized feedback, because you remember this chatbot has context of your organization. It has context of your knowledge bases. So it can give you very contextualized feedback. You'll notice that it's like extremely relevant to you and your organization. And this can actually help you plan and build projects that are going to be impactful. And even for you to work out, okay, how are we going to track the progress over time? You can do all of that within this chatbot. It's very powerful. You can even choose which AI model you want to use. You don't have to use, say, GPT. You can use whichever models you want to then plan your projects and then get to the point where you then create a report project, collect data, interrogate all that data over time. So you can just see just how powerful this platform is for allowing organizations to just really leverage their data. We're helping you access all your data quickly, pull insights from it quickly, but also organize your projects, organize your data collection, check your data quality, and then process your data into outputs so that you can actually communicate your impact effectively. So this is really just an essential platform for anyone who's in the impact space. We like to say that we are your impact operating system. This isn't just an AI tool, it's a full impact operating system, from data collection to data quality checks to data processing into various different outputs, and just for learning and improving as an organization. And I'm going to finish on one final note, just to say that you can even share these knowledge bases with other people. So just think how powerful that is. Like, this has been shared with me, which reports AI company information. So I can now go in and interrogate that data when I want. So if you have a powerful knowledge base that you've created for your organization and you want to share that with some of your stakeholders or partners, you can do that with the ReportsAI platform. Just think it's all about allowing organizations to leverage their asset, which is their data. That's what we're all about, and so that we can improve the amount of impact that's being made across the world. So yeah, if this is interesting to you, please reach out to us or go to the website reports-ai.app. If you log in, it will instantly start a free trial so you can check it out and have a play around for yourself. Thanks.